Good day, you all. Welcome to Difficult People Chronicles. I'm seriously focused Johnnie, SF Johnnie. Today's episode is called The Question and the Bystander. For those of you that are new, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Now, I want everyone to repeat after me. Psalms 27, verse 1 and 2. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked, even my enemies and my foes, come upon me to eat my flesh, they stumbled and fell. In Jesus' name, amen. So this episode is called The Question of the Bystander. Now, for some of you all that are new, I want you to check out one of my older episodes. It's called The Message, The Fake and the Bystander. Check out that episode first, or you can listen to this one and then go back to the old episode and then listen to this one again. But I want you all to get clarity and more detail about what's going on in this situation. So, let me set the visual stage for you all. You have three people: the fake, the bystander, and the real. For some, it's the wrong relationship. For some, it's friends where they were all friends in the beginning. For some, it's family members. Now, on this stage, you have the fake who went to the bystander and said some things like, you need to do this to the real because the real is doing this to you. And they went to the bystander with aggression, like their life was in danger. And they said, you need to do this because the real is about to take your life, and if you don't, this is what's going to happen. So based off of what was said, the bystander went and did some kind of demonic activity, like a spell. I see a spell. And this spell could be a number of things. It could be to kill a spirit. Wait, let me backtrack. So this spell that was done was a spell given to them from the fake. They had no idea what it entailed. No education, no kind of background about what they were doing. They were just told to do it. The common sense in people. Trust me. Yeah. So they did this spell, the bystander, and this spell could have been a number of things: to kill a spirit, to stop motivation, to make the person stagnant, to transfer blessings, meaning the real had some things coming down the pipeline from God to them at a particular time or whatever in their life, or based off of what they did, done, or whatever, or generational blessings. And this person transferred blessings. Could be marriage, husband, children, career, taking away profits. Could be taking away their beauty little by little. Could be to kill them in general, taking them out of the way, meaning that they were supposed to be in a particular union with a person, and those two were to join together to fulfill God's ordained mission in the world. And this person said, do this, and a bystander went full of common sense of none and did whatever. Or to put them in a broke mindset or put them in poverty. Now, I want to give y'all just a little glimpse of how innocent people who mind their business can get hurt just because someone is not using common sense, go off of what someone else says. So some time ago, and this is a true story, I'm just trying to recall every event that happened. I had to go to this place to do business, take care of my own personal affairs, and it was always around the summertime. So I would park at a particular area where I knew I could put money in the meter, and if the meter ran out, I was still safe because I never got a ticket, thank God. So I would always park in this area. And one particular time, well, not one particular time, there was this guy standing there. And he was always watching me. He would always say hello. So I would say hello, just being kind. And then little by little, it was always conversation. I knew that he liked me, but I never entertained any of his advancements. Nothing. It would just be cordial. He would say, for example, oh, it's real nice outside. Where's your sunglasses? Little things like that. No harm done. We conversed, right? Okay. Then it got to the point where the season changed and I never had any reason to go back to that particular spot. So then the summertime rolled around again and it was back to normal. We'd go over there and I would see him. He asked me out on a date and I said no. I didn't say I was with anybody. I just said no. I just said no, thank you. And I smiled and walked off. The reason why, and I'm going to give you the reason, is because I like clean cut guys. He had the means to take a shower, meaning that he lived in a house and he could take a shower if he wanted to. But he would come outside and stand at that particular area in pajamas and smoke his cigarette or weed or whatever. One of the things is that I always tell people is that sometimes even if a person is, let's say, into criminalistic activities, never look afraid, because if you look afraid, they got you and they're coming for you. I just felt like I needed to add that for whoever needed to hear that, because someone out there, is probably around someone that's trying to put fear in them. Yeah. So he would always dress in pajamas, like he just rolled out of bed and ran outside, threw on, and stood there just to meet me there. I wasn't interested. So another time I went to the spot and there was a car parked behind me and it was shaking, going up and down. And a girl got out the car, heavyset girl with a short skirt on. And then she started fixing her skirt. She started giggling like ridiculously, like she was just giggling. And then he got out of the car on the driver's side and I noticed it was him and I said, hey, how you doing? And he fanned and turned his back, walked off, and she was just giggling, staring at me. And I got in the car and I drove off. Okay. Then the next time, went back to the spot. He was not there, but she was there. And she stood there and she stared at me like this dead face stare. And I said hello. She didn't speak. And I got in the car and I drove off. And I said to myself, you kind of know when someone's talking about you. You know. There's no way to escape it. And I said, what that idiot went and said to her. Because I do not want him. And people are so stupid that some people want you to be jealous of them. So they do things right in front of you to get a reaction, but they got none. So over the next few days from that encounter, I almost got into an accident. A number of things almost happened. But thank God, God saved me. And I prayed. I say that to say that what came to me is that she tried to do something to me. And it didn't work. Whatever she tried was based off of what he said. And that just shows you how innocent people can get hurt. How people who we reject for whatever reason get stuck in their feelings, or we don't want to deal with them because there's something in their life that they need to work on or change, and they get stuck in their feelings and they decide to hurt people instead of just changing. This just shows you how some people are. It's even in relationships. A person who is fake, let's be clear, a person who is fake can reject you for whatever reason, stuck in their ego or whatever. Take it as a blessing, because then when you walk off after that rejection, they get mad and will try to hurt you just because you walked off when they didn't want you in the first place. I had to add that because that's for some of you all. Somebody rejected you. You went off to another relationship, living the best, most happy life. And this minion is trying to destroy you. When they rejected you, they didn't want you to begin with. But what they wanted to do, they wanted to be a celebrity in your life. And for you to gloat over them. For you to continue to want them. But they didn't want you. And now they're trying to destroy your life because you walked away. Okay, so in this message, when the bystander found out what really went down, where the fake came up with all these lies, situations, had them do some things, right? They went to the real and they was like, yes, I did wrong, but that doesn't make me a bad person, does it? That's the question. They said, yes, I know I did wrong, but that doesn't make me a bad person, does it? And they're waiting for the real to give them an answer. And they started yelling and yelling and yelling because they want forgiveness. And they kept repeating this question and yelling. Because for some, the real is like, yes, you did bad, but you did wrong. What you did was bad, and that makes you a bad person because you intentionally tried to hurt me. That's what the real said. For some. For some, the real didn't even answer. So let's go to the next part. I want you to decide on if this is for some of you all. You and some of you all are the real, and the bystander came up to you and said, yes, I did wrong, but that doesn't make me a bad person, does it? I want you to decide. But what came to me is that when this bystander comes to you with a question and they want forgiveness, forgive them. What the bystander feels is that all they have to do is ask for forgiveness and they are good, in the clear, and they don't have to go before God. What they've done does not escape the wrath of God because He decides. So, like I said, when they apologize, accept it, meaning forgive, because it's not about them, it's about you and learning to forgive. And understand, if they come with a half apology, they have not learned, and now they will have two strikes against them. Because for some people, what's going to happen is the fake told them to do this spell, they did it, and they're going before the real person saying, look, this is what I did. Like, they are bold. Some of the bystanders are bold. Like, they saying, look, I did a spell to kill you and it didn't work. Forgive me. Because I did wrong doesn't mean I'm a bad person, does it? And they getting snotty, ignorant, and they yelling because they think you stupid. Yeah. And they saying, forgive me. All attitude. Yeah. And you're saying, I forgive you. And they think they in the clear, but they not. That's what came to me. They not. What is the difference between a criminal and a demonic person? Nothing. They both harm people. And I'm talking about criminals. I'm not talking about people that go to jail that was falsely accused. I'm talking about criminals. Criminals that do things over and over and over and over again. They harm people. This person, a bystander, this particular person, feel that you're alive and good. So they good. Not so. The common sense in some people. That's all I'm going to say. The common sense in some people. The reason why they are suffering, because for some, this bystander is suffering. This bystander is really suffering. And they going through it. And the reason is because of the act. The act of the spell they did and their actions of their apology. There are going to be some bystanders that did some things and wholeheartedly asking for forgiveness, crying, bending knees, all this stuff, and going to God first before they even come to you because they know that what they did was wrong. We not talking about them. We talking about the bystanders that did the spell, the act, okay? Then they went to the real to apologize, and it was just half. They were like, yeah, I'm sorry, whatever. This is what I did, so forgive me. Cocky. Those are the bystanders we talking about for right now. So this is what came to me. There are people who went to readers, and these readers are the fakes. And these readers saw some things in the bystander's life and told them things. They told them part truth, part lie. Then these things played out. Part truth, played out. They went to the person and said, this is what you need to do. And the person went and did these spells and all these things, not realizing, not going to God, not doing nothing, but believing in this reader. And the chaos that played out in their life was the reader. Yep, it was the reader. Meaning they took whatever was for them and did whatever and made the bystander believe and assume, like pushed them into assuming that it was the real the whole time. My question is, what made this person, the bystander, trust the reader? Because tarot card readers could steal your whole life too, They ain't exempt. The bystander trusted them and went off their every word. The bystander hurt someone who was innocent doing criminalistic activity. And the reason why the fake did this is because the fake wanted to sit back, watch the story play out, and laugh. They wanted to go on about their merry way with someone else's blessing, someone else's life. And they didn't want blood on their hands. So they made the bystander do the most when they told them what to do. Yep. And wanted to see, like, if the real would retaliate or do revenge and watch the bystander be a guinea pig. Well, let me tell you, the storm is coming in the bystander's life. This storm is basically no other than the fake, because they are angry for something. I don't know what that something is, and I guess God didn't give me that message because it wasn't really important, but the fake is angry. And for some, you won't be saved. I saw jail. And for some, understand, the real is under God's wings. This episode is specifically for the bystander who God is not saving. Yeah, so that's the message. That's the message. And it's sad. It's really sad that some people got too much spare time in their life. Like, what I saw is the bystander was living a good life, was really living a good life. And their ego attracted the fake, meaning that I don't know if they had a lot of money or cars, or they were just on to something good in their life. And they started being, what I see is boastful, bragging, talking too much about stuff in a boastful way. And then the fake just attached. And the fake saw that this bystander at the time had the real in their life, and they did things to push them away. Or what I see is that God told the real God directed the real to walk another way or be in position to do something. So that was taking the real out of their life. And in any event, this fake person just told them to do some things, and they did it. What I'm seeing, so what I'm seeing now is that the bystander, for some, the bystander was working on a positive lifestyle, being real, but they had issues, ego issues, and the ego got the best of them, right? Because they attracted the fake, and then the fake saw the real in their life. And at the time, they wasn't a bad person, but they was with the real, having a good set of people in their life. And this fake, when the fake walked in their life, everything changed, right? And the real, God put the real in position and placed them elsewhere. Yeah. For some, the bystander had the real in their life and pushed them out of their life based off of the things they were doing. And for some, the real just started working on themselves. Kind of like self-care. It's kind of like when you're in an environment with someone and then all of a sudden you just feel some kind of way, so you just walk away because you realize that once you're away from that person, everything works out for your good. It was one of those situations. But in any event, it still doesn't escape. The bystander was still doing too much, doing stupidness. Like, there's people that's going to walk in your life and warn you about certain things, and you're supposed to go to God. Even if, let's say, you have a strong foundation at home where you can talk to your mother and father and they normally try to guide you in the right direction. For some, you had that opportunity to talk to the real people in your life and you didn't. You didn't even go to the people in your life. And I'm talking about the bystander. You basically believed everything this fake person said because you felt that their life was going so good. And I feel that some people that are listening to this episode is a bystander. Don't get mad at me. I'm just telling you. You listened to this person because you thought their life was going so good. Let me tell you something. The devil can dress themselves up to look flawless. Flawless. You know how many times I sat down talking to people that came to me with stories, and then for some strange reason while they was talking I was praying, and they just picked the picture of what I saw just changed. And then all of a sudden, they didn't even realize what they were saying to me. And I never said nothing to that person. And time, when I stepped back, I started to see exactly what God was showing me. I have no more words. I have no more words. Only thing I'm going to say is anybody that want to schedule a session for a one-on-one, the links is underneath. Check me out on YouTube, like and subscribe, click the notification button. Check out my store. All the links is underneath. And for suggested topics, email me. I want everybody out there to be safe. There's a lot of people just not operating in the right spirit. You got a lot of people out there that, I said I wasn't going to say no more, but I got to. You got some people out there that are like spoiled brats. And you got people out there that are monitoring spirits. So they sitting up there doing these tarot cards because they just want to be nosy in your life. And they want to take your blessings. Yep. Or they want you to do some things. Some people just get so fixated and so, I would say, moved by creating, and that's what just came to me, Lord, my spirit. Thank you, Jesus. They love chaos and drama in other people's lives, and they get moved just to see the power that they have to do these evil demonic things. Before you decide to take the advice of anybody, you go to God in prayer. You hear? And if you unsure of whatever is told to you, like say in a dream, a vision, a message from God, when you go to him in prayer and ask again. Ask God to give you a sign. God is not going to tell you to be killing off no innocent people. Like, real talk. And for the bystanders, whoever this is listening to this podcast, I tell you, I kid you not. You had your whole life ahead of you. Your whole life ahead of you. And you allowed this fake to walk in your life and do some things. And for some of you all as family members that you knew you couldn't trust because maybe there was some things they did in the past or something that a family member said to you and you knew it was the truth. But you decided to be, oh, it wouldn't be me. Never say never. Never say never. Because sometimes your worst enemy is the closest. I can't say that any further. I can't, I don't understand the minds and the hearts of people. And that's the thing that bothers me a lot, because sometimes I sit down and what I think about is what frame of mind is these people in, that you have some people out there, and I could blatantly sometimes I could see things playing out where a person is intentionally trying to harm and steal and kill a person's soul or take their blessings, and then they turn around and smile in their face, and you can sit there and say to that person, be careful of that person that you interacting with. And this person will sit there and look at you as an enemy and walk away with the enemy. And then when they coming back to you, it's like, forgive me because I thought, I didn't know they would do that to me. When what they really should be saying is, I thought you were the enemy. When you really wasn't the enemy. You were really trying to save their behind. Because God sends messages and messengers in people's lives too, you know. But in this situation, this person was not a messenger of God. Why? Because they went to the bystander with a message, and this is what came to me. They went to the bystander with a message, but eventually, before the act of spell work or whatever was done, they came out and told them that they do stuff. They told them that they basically, in so many words, they've been doing this all along. But then what they did was they told the bystander, you need to do this because the real is trying to hurt you. And that bystander did not think about what they were doing. They just did it. And when they saw that things was happening in their life where it was just going from bad to worse, the fake came and said, you need to do this because the real is really working. And the real wasn't doing a daggone thing. The real did not do anything to the bystander. And the bystander went and did it again and again and again based off of the fake until some things started to come to them and they was like, hold up, something's wrong. And then when they realized, it was too late. But then you go in front the bystand the real and get cocky with an apology. I'm done. Everyone have a blessed day. Later.